up is Will Alexander. Welcome.
Kia ora koutou. Ko Will toku ingoa no Ototahi aho. The people in this room are the leaders of Ototahi. You are our local leaders. In the face of an industrial-scale slaughter of Palestinians, the victims of 76 years of brutal and illegal occupation from Israel. It's the sort of desperate time that we want our leaders to speak up and make us proud. Christopher Luxon has not done that. If Christopher Luxon actually cared, he would investigate Raycon. If Christopher Luxon actually cared, he would announce an increase in UNRWA funding. He would be honest with us about what our troops are doing in the Red Sea, or whether they are killing people who are trying to stop a genocide. He would join South Africa's case against Israel at the ICJ. He would recognize a Palestinian state. He would grant the humanitarian visas. He would put sanctions on Israel. He would agree with international experts who are calling this a textbook case of genocide. He would expel the Israeli ambassador, and he would call on the United States to stop arming Israel. But he hasn't done any of those things. I haven't eaten anything for 19 days because I want our government to do more. And there are thousands of people around Aotearoa who agree with me. My first ask to Christopher Luxon and Winston Peters is to increase funding to UNRWA, the best placed agency to assist in Gaza. This funding needs to be significantly increased and paid as soon as possible. We are due to make a payment at the end of June, but Winston has not publicly committed to doing so. He needs to fund UNRWA now. My second ask is for our government to investigate exports that might get into Israel's weapons. Auckland company Raycon says they aren't sure whether their crystal oscillators are ending up in United States weapons that are then shipped to Israel. Well, it's our government's duty to make sure. We need to halt international exports of crystal oscillators until we know for certain that they are not ending up in the weapons of Israel's genocide. These asks are to our central government, but I'm speaking here to you. When central government won't act, we expect our leaders to step up and put the pressure on our government to speak out on our behalf. We'd like you to tell them, the people of Christchurch want you to act now. We want you to fund UNRWA, and we want you to investigate Raycon. You need to act individually, but you also need to come together and act collectively. I'm asking you to pass a motion in support of New Zealand increasing its funding to UNRWA as soon as possible to provide urgent humanitarian aid. I also request that you write to Christopher Luxon and Winston Peters personally and ask them to increase funding to UNRWA and investigate Raycon. And while you're at it, you could ask them to grant the humanitarian visas for Gazans with whānau here in Aotearoa. Please pass a motion supporting increased funding, and please write to Christopher Luxon and Winston Peters. He aha te mea nui o te au. He tangata, he tangata, he tangata. Kia ora.
Kia ora. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now we'll have